What is up, you guys? Welcome to This Is Not an Ad, a video series wherein we advertise the lives of students and professionals from the advertising world. We are your hosts, Dara Ilaya.
And there's a Flores for this term's podcast. This is not an ad is brought to you by the Ad Trade Society, bringing you entertainment and information from the finest students of the De La Salle University, as well as professionals from the field of advertising.
Yes, tama yan. So now, before we get into it, let's go. Please give us a like, a comment, and subscribe to our social media platforms. That is the Ad Create Society, so you know where to find us. And yes, today's episode we have five admirable students who will be sharing their experiences as college students, pero from various courses, as well as their thoughts on advertising. So, Ner, ready ka na ba?
Oo naman, ever ready. Tara.
Wow! Okay, so without further ado, let's begin and meet them. Let's start with you, Baron.
Hey guys, I'm Baron from ID 120 and I'm currently a frosh taking up AB Organizational Communication and BS Advertising Management.
Yes, fresh blood, Ner. Ready, no? Okay, so next up we have...
Hi, I'm Beilu. I am ID 117 and I am actually on my fourth year. Oldie na ako. And I am taking up BS Advertising Management.
Yes, fourth year veteran. Pwede na. Marami yan may input si Bea Lu. Okay, next tayo.
Hello, I'm Charisse K, ID number 119. I'm currently taking up BS Advertising Management, minor in Communication and New Media.
Yes,
Okay.
perfect. Pa-minor na lang, no? Okay, next.
Hi, I'm Gilly, 118, org minor in marketing.
Yes. Dahil pala yung orgcom natin dito, no? Talagang hindi lang sa advertising talaga ang advertising world. Okay, so last but not the least, we have...
Oops. Hi, I'm James De Leon, ID 120. My course is, I'm a frosh, BS Marketing Management.
Okay. So, diba there's this stereotype na you have to be creative or artsy to survive the advertising management program. Is it true? What's your opinion regarding this stereotype?
I don't think that yung technical skills sa Photoshop, Illustrator and stuff, I don't think needed siya talaga. For me, it's more about your vision, your passion, and your direction in terms of your art stuff, like let's say your aesthetic wise, parang ganun. So it's more of hindi talaga siya technical skills but really your vision in what you do. Yeah.
That's true. Especially, di ba, maraming students na kunwari advert student ka, pero yung nagiging main concern mo is, hindi ako marunong mag-Photoshop, paano na yung picture ko? Yung mga ganun, yung mga Adobe. Pero ang maganda naman kasi sa university natin is we learn as we progress, di ba?
Curious ako sa masasabi ng ng pinaka old, ang pinaka new na advertising student dito. So, anong masasabi mo sa input ng 119 and 120 students here sa podcast natin? Tama ba?
Hello. I think it's a really big misconception na you really have to be artsy or you have to be good at making pubs when you're in advertising, because it's so much more than that, especially now parang ang daming mga tao ang gagaling gumawa ng mga creative designs and napapaisip ka, shucks, tama bang nasa degree ako na to? Puro Canva lang ako. Pero it's fine, it's really fine. It's really it's not a problem if you don't know how to make a pub or if you're not witty enough to make taglines, because really the school gives you enough training for that. And I think what will make you a good advertising student is your openness to learn. Parang kasi naalala ko talaga nung frosh ako, yan talaga yung parang biggest dilemma ko na parang kakashift ko lang kasi to adver and then ayun, like, I started doubting my own skills. And then I realized parang, no, I should take time to just be a student.
That's good. Especially, di ba, tawag dito, sa school naman kasi, more on collaborative effort yan. And it also teaches you how to have leadership skills. Okay, tara. Next question tayo. So, meron na ba dito nagkaroon ng internship sa mga advertising agencies? Where's
Me.
Oh,
Yes.
Gilly. So, how was your experience naman sa ad agency?
Actually, I'm on my third internship na. And I already interned in a independent ad agency, so that's 780. I also did mobile and digital in AdSpark. Because right now, I'm an accounts intern in Wonderman Thompson. So, from all my experiences naman, parang it built to where I am now. Kasi for AdSpark, I was more on the back end. Nag-analytics and media operations ako doon. And then for 780 naman, parang it was a program where we were trained in accounts and creative. So medyo big pa. And malaki yung scope niya. So from there, na-realize ko na gusto ko accounts. So ngayon yung internship ko, accounts focused.
Mhm. Well, ang
Good.
ganda. No? As in, from different advert agencies, like, patunay din siya na hindi lang naman graphic designers ang hinahanap nila sa mga ad agencies. Like, it's very diverse, and knowing na there is a lot of departments for different kinds of people out there, it's very inspiring. It's very motivating to work towards it. So, guys, given the insights and the thoughts that you have on the advertising world in surface, so anong ina-expect ninyong career after graduation? So, start tayo kay Bea Lu kasi malapit ang thesis niya. Anong ina-expect mo after?
Grabe. The $1 million question. Ano lang. Actually, I've really thought about this for quite some time. Pero parang now that it's coming, parang nagdadalawa akong isip. But I've really always wanted to be in the copy side of advertising agencies. Kasi sobrang hindi ko mag-conceptualize ng ideas. I really like it when I execute them. Tsaka, whenever I see ads, parang napapaisip talaga ako, ang galing naman nun na nakuha nilang insight there. Pero now, I'm also thinking, what about accounts? Kaya parang kay Gilly, tuwa ako na parang she's an accounts intern. Parang, oh my God, how to be you po. Ayun.
For me naman, since I'm communications, may wide scope din naman. So, I'm choosing pa rin between if I wanna go into advertising, marketing, or PR. So, pwede din accounts, parang that's my number one. Pero, sometimes I wanna do internal comms because of what I learned in my course. Sometimes, parang yung kay Bobby sa Four Sisters in a Wedding, I'm a corporate communications specialist, ganon. So, madami pa namang choices. So, I'm still open to learning new things.
Sa 119, I haven't really thought about the specifics, pero in general, I've been trying to learn about copy or accounts or conceptualizing. I've been trying to adapt each one or kung saan ako kung saan ako talaga nag-improve. So I haven't thought about it, pero yun nga, parang I'm still aiming for I think right now accounts or something in marketing, something relating to networking, basically. That's all.
Yeah. Networking naman pala. Bakit di ka na lang mag-sell ng duta? De, joke lang. Grabe. Very... the wits, actually, the discarte, we love it. So, how about our 120 people here? Alam ko naman fresh pa lang kayo, fresh blood. Pero, ano bang na-visualize ninyo na career after grad?
Ako kasi, I'm really a business-minded person. So, I actually took up advertising and organizational communication kasi naisip ko na it covers a very wide scope, no? And as a frosh, I'm not really aware of the technical sides of the advertising stuff, yung parang kanina sabi kanina ng mga copy and something ganyan. Pero, the reason why I took up this major is for me to be able to apply these stuff sa magiging future business ko that I'm actually starting to to plan out right now even as a frosh. So yun talaga yung pinaka main goal ko for this major is to apply what I have learned, and siguro malay mo siguro I could also build up my own firm pag nagkaroon na ng parang kailangan ni outsource yung ibang advertising stuff na gagawa sa company ko na I could also earn and make a difference in this industry as well. So yeah, yun naman so far.
Own firm. Own firm, guys! The possibilities are endless. I love it. Grabe. Tutuwa ako sa dalawa nating 120. Very, yes. I'm just figuring things out and I love it. So guys, what do you think about ad agencies? Familiar ba kayo kung ano-ano yung mga ad agencies na yun and kung anong ginagawa ng mga ad agencies? Let's start with our intern, Miss Gilly.
Kasi if you want to intern, you really need to be familiar with the different advertising agencies. Since different yung ino-offer ng different advertising agencies. So, minsan, iba yung programs nila for internship, minsan, iba yung parang voice nila as an agency. So, take for example, si Giggle, di ba? Yung yung messaging talaga nila yung fun, weird. So, even with yung ad nila for RC Cola, for Dane's Cheese, ganun talaga sila yung as an agency, di ba? There are also like big agencies like Publicis na more parang serious, like Leo Burnett, pag matanda na gano'n. So you really need to be aware of like what agency is good for you and what's the best fit for you.
Okay, so what about kay ating Miss Bea Lu? Are you familiar with some agencies and what specifics do you look?
One of the most yung personal na favorite kong agency would be McCann. Sobrang nila, ang galing ng mga ads nila. It's like yung mga kwentong Jollibee, and then they have one na alala ko, nakita ko lang sa talk in Lasal. I didn't even know it was made by them. It was yung chocolate, yung body, Chucky drink. Nakalimutan ko yung name. Yung Chucky. And then it was about the mom and her son bonding, and then parang it was all they talked about how yung insight was they couldn't promote kids, so they have to find a way to attract moms into buying their drink. Tapos ang galing ng pagka-execute talaga. It was very heartwarming, and parang sabi ko, wow, yun talaga yung ad na sabi ko, I think this is the company for me because I want to make an ad that makes people feel that way.
I'm not familiar with a lot, but I've been trying to research for more. Pero last year kasi I was able to join an expedition from AdCreate, visiting 2 agencies which are DLSU and 7AD. I really didn't know what to expect, pero when I came into the office, parang sobrang saya lang. Kasi nga, I didn't know what to expect. I had no idea ano ba yung differences ng mga, yung accounts or creatives. Tapos doon na-open yung icon na parang, yun nga, you have to know which is the best agency for you and probably for your advocacy.
Guys, ang ganda ng mga hindi mo pa OJT time, pero you're really actively pursuing the internships that you want. So, ano bang nag-motivate? Very important ba na magkaroon ng internship experiences before you really reach that OJT time? Kasi feeling ko, curious din yung mga 120 natin. And actually, yung mga lower batches din, very important ba talaga na magkaroon ng internships?
Especially the internship I am pursuing now, they were asking me talaga, they were grilling me, why do you want to internship even if it's not your OJT term? Why do you want a voluntary internship? Pero for me kasi, it's all about sa tao. If you have your own goals, you can intern na. It's not necessarily required for you to do so kasi you have your OJT term naman. Pero for me lang kasi, I wanna have a head start na. Kasi I have time naman, especially during the pandemic, work from home lahat. So, my extra time can be used in something that I can learn from, diba? And have experience na din by the time I graduate.
To add lang, I interned not for an ad agency, but it was like a startup, and it was voluntarily. And then, I went into it going blind. Alam mo yung feeling na you just wanna be somebody. Yung parang you just want to prove yourself na, okay, I can take responsibility. I want to be able to be someone. But I also don't close the idea of joining an internship if you want to grow from your skills professionally, because an internship will allow you to see agad what's your weak point, parang what you can improve on. Parang when I was taking that internship, nagulat talaga ako na yung mga deadline kasi it was creative. It was like, oh, you need to submit this 2 days from now. And then ako pa naman ng time na yun, medyo di pa ako sanay sa mga ganong tight schedule na deadline. Tapos may law class pa ako. So parang, how to time manage. So it really teaches you na, okay, don't join things on a whim. And then also, take time to reflect na, okay, I can do these things. These are my strengths. But then, how can I further improve myself? Ganon.
Ganda, take time to reflect and don't just join things on a whim. Kasi if you're a creative and you really want to grow, you really want to hone your craft, parang nasa impulse, feeling ko nating lahat na, okay, I have to do this in order to experience this, in order to grow, stuff like that. Pero ang ganda na time will tell then. Your experiences will tell them na, okay, these are the things that you have to do and these are the things that you shouldn't do. So for our 120 students, na-consider nyo ba na mag-ad agencies? Are you familiar with different ad agencies?
Actually, I'm only familiar by name of two advertising agencies. So first being McKinsey and second is AdSpark. I actually heard them lang sa mga talk na mga narinig ko noon back when grade 10 pa, ganyan. And actually in terms of I completely agree with sila Gilly and others na sinasabi na head start talaga is very very important. Kasi actually back in grade 10 pa, I already started doing freelance jobs. I'm more of a creative person kasi nasa creative side ako, and I'm more of photography and videography and such. So back in grade 10, I launched my very own, hindi talaga siya officially production company for events, pero parang ganun na rin. So my first client was on an organization in Ateneo de Manila, and starting doon start na ako ma-refer ganyan. And back in grade 11, I started it was my first internship sa isang event production company din. It was a parang international studies camp thingy event. So I was interning to cover that event too. And starting grade 11 rin pala and to grade 12. I'm actually part of a organization. Ang handle ko is the promotions and communication department niya. So we were creating mga pops, mga marketing plans for events, ganyan. And sa grade, itong pandemic lang pala, hindi na grade 12, itong pandemic lang, I applied for a internship and now trainee na ako sa Chinoy TV. So I'm also doing mga video editing nila, sa mga pops rin nila, ganyan. So more of creative side talaga ako. So same likewise rin sa sa goal nila na banggit kanina na it's really more of sa head start sa industry. Kasi for me, narinig ko rin sa mga upper class natin na what do you call this, experience is very very important in this industry. Hindi siya kung saan ka nag-graduate, ganyan. It's also very important, of course, pero sa creative side, experience is always number one sa mga companies. That is why I agree sa mga head start na yun, and I am still continuing to gain more experience in this industry.
Grabe, ang dami nyo lang nagawa and ang dami nyo pang balak gawin, and it's very very inspiring kasi we have to maximize our capabilities and our network, our platforms as of the moment. Pero ito na talaga yung ultimate test ng mga gusto mong gawin at ng mga hindi mo pa nagagawa. Lalo-lalo na yung mga nagawa natin. So, for our next segment, we have Ner, take it away.
So, for our next part, we will have a mini game. It's called never add I ever. Similar siya sa never have I ever. Pero here, ang papagawa lang namin sa inyo is magre-react kayo. Thumbs up, yung sa Zoom ha. Thumbs up if you have, and then clap react if you haven't yet.
Okay, tara, let's. Are you guys ready? Okay.
Okay.
Ready.
So, first tayo. Never had I ever fought with my professor. Thumbs up if you have, clap if you haven't.
Titingin ako ng thumbs up eh. Wow! Mga good graduates ang kasama
That's good.
natin.
Buti wala pang kikiaway sa mga professors dyan. Okay, next tayo. Never had I ever got into a fight with my group mates.
Nako, yung
That's
mga
a tough
freeloader.
one.
Ay, nako.
That's a very... Whoa! Ay,
Ah,
abay. Wow, di nakikiaway si James.
Oo.
Next is, never had I ever thought about shifting out of my course.
Oh.
Ayan. Oh my God, may mga nag-thumbs up. May nag-thumbs
Ako,
up.
may clarification ako sa question.
Nag-self-reflect kayong dalawa.
Ano yan, Miss Bea?
Counted ba yung shift out sa... Counted ba yung drop out sa shift out?
Sige, gawin natin ganon.
Pag dapat daw, dalawang thumbs up.
Double thumbs up po.
Okay, so for our last na never had I ever, oh my God, flirted with my group mate. Oh my God, parang, napapaisip si
Very
James.
professional.
James?
Oh.
Ay!
Ah!
Hindi
Professional.
ka na pressure,
Mga
James.
kausap
Hindi ka na pressure.
Natuwa ako kay Gilly eh. As in, inano niya talaga. Clap, clap, clap. Hindi ko naisip yun.
Oo.
Oo.
Nag-react agad siya eh. That's good.
Ayan. Thank you so much, guys, for answering our never had I ever. So let's move on to our next segment. We will be reading some questions asked by students, and these questions are advertising related ulit. So I know that you're not really in the position pa to answer these questions kasi bagets pa tayo, mga students pa lang tayo. But if you have any idea about the answer, please feel free to share your thoughts on it. Pwede kayo mag-open mic kahit sino po pwede mag-start. So if you don't, you may share your comments about it, and po pwede ka rin mag-follow-up questions. Kunwari, yung tanong na yun, oo nga no, tanungin mo na lang din ulit. So okay, ready na ba kayo guys? Thumbs up naman if okay. Kaya today? Yes. Okay, so let's start. What does it mean to be a good advertiser?
I believe it's on the how aligned yung vision mo sa branding ng client mo, sa goals ng material na gusto ma-achieve ng client mo. It's really on the alignment of vision and branding for me. Yun lang naman yung take ko here. Yung very controversial right now, yung sa RC Cola, right? Diba many people are really like criticizing their advertisement, yung tinanggal yung ulo, so bigla, ayun pala, RC Cola yun. For me, siya, it's a hit or miss for me. Kasi diba, first of all, we don't know kung ano yung branding na gusto ng RC Cola. Pero for me, in terms of achievement, yung goal niya na to reach as much people as possible, for me, it was a successful campaign. Kasi nga, diba nga guys, nakarating siya sa ibang country, diba, sa feature niya sa GMA and ABS-CBN, if I'm not mistaken. Talagang napag-usapan yung campaign na yun. Kasi it was very, very abstract and kinompare nga siya sa mga Thai commercials, right, yung ganyan. So actually, ako mismo, inapanood ko yun. I was like, ang weird ng commercial, pero as time passed, it grew on me. Parang napaisip nga ako, parang gusto ko tuloy bumili ng cola, or I'm not sure kung RC Cola gusto ko bilhin, pero parang gusto ko uminom ng cola bigla. So for me, it was a successful campaign, and yun nga yun, connecting it back sa alignment ng goals and branding. Pero sa branding, I'm not so sure about that. Doon sa RC Cola, yun lang gusto ko i-add.
Can I add lang to what Baron said? Kasi discussion board yan ng marketing prof ko. Now, what do you think would RC Cola add? Tapos, may insight siya na sinasabi niya na in terms of creating a buzz, it is successful, pero all marketing campaign kasi their main goal is to create market penetration. So market penetration yung if bibili ba yung consumers mo ng kasi yung target nila Gen Z. So tayo yun. Did we wanna buy RC Cola? Kasi ako personally, nakita, parang na-shadow for me yung product because of the ad. Like, if I go to a convenience store, I would buy Coke or Sprite, but not RC Cola. Maalala ko lang yung ad. So, in terms of parang sales, increasing sales, it may not be a successful ad, but pag engagement, creating a buzz, it's successful. Pero if we think long-term daw, baka hindi siya as parang what do you call that? What's that word? Hindi siya mas effective as we thought it would be.
Ako, mag-add lang ako. For me, tingin ko brand awareness naman yung ad na yun. Yung to get the attention of consumers. Kasi kami kapag kasi yung mother ko kasi taga Bulacan. So kapag umuwi ako doon, mas sikat yung RC Cola. Mas sikat yung mga ganun na kasi mas mura siya eh. So tawag doon, mas maraming mabibili if ever. Kunwari parties, ganun, mas maraming mabibili. So I think yung tina-target nila na consumers is not the market of the international brands na mga Coke, Sprite, mga ganun. Pero siguro yung mga local market na mas affordable, yung alternative yung product. Ganun.
Actually, nag-link yung prof ko ng article about like Giggle talking about the ad. Sinabi na yung target market talaga nila is Gen Z. So tayo talaga. And parang in a way, sinasabi daw nila na kasi parang yung big idea ata nila was basta masarap RC Cola. So when we think of the ad, basta weird yung ad, ganun daw. So ganun yung parang idea behind their campaign. So parang sinasabi din ata ng director na because when we think of Gen Z, parang we just do things without any explanation. Like, we wanna go out, we go out without any explanation. So, basta-basta lang daw. So, ganyan yung idea nila behind targeting the Gen Z with that ad.
Okay, last, sorry. May add ako last lang. Going back sa question what makes a great advertiser? So, for me rin, one thing rin na it struck me kasi as a person rin, I always think differently, do things in a different way. So, for me, one factor that makes a great advertiser is to stray up away from the usual path that people or advertisers take and actually do something original. Yun nga kasi nasisip sa RC Cola, yun nga, or something different siya, pero hindi lang siya tumapat sa talagang dapat niya na market. Pero for me, what makes a great advertiser is something or someone that does things differently rin. Yun lang.
And when you're an advertiser, if your biggest challenge is making things original, and malamig ngayon, parang every idea is like a copy of a copy. Yun din yung sinabi sa akin ng art prof for the stores na yung art na you really can't find an original idea anymore. But as an advertiser, that's probably our biggest challenge. And it can be in the smallest things, like just making the branding a little different, or the way you execute something. Just by trying to find that small difference can make a really big change in your ad, and it can engage the right people.
Okay, wow! Gusto ko yung one question lang, pero ang dami nating nakuhang information, Dara.
Daming standards, daming factors kung paano mo masasabing good ang advertisement. Parang kailangan revolutionary, but at the same time parang gumagana pa rin naman ng mga classic advertising strategies. So as students, parang it's the challenge to find out what works best, lalo na tayo yung future advertisers. Tayo na yung magko-control ng kung ano bang nilalabas na ads, mga companies, like after So, ang ganda rin nung pinoint out kanina na the ideas that you have to present in an ad should be fresh, out of the box, and other stuff. So, hindi naman kasi always na meron kang fresh idea eh. Kasi sometimes you feel unmotivated, sometimes you feel lost. Mahirap mag-generate ng new ideas nang na-execute mo siya ng maayos. So guys, for you, how do you improve your creativity when you feel unmotivated or lost? Meron ba kayong tips and tricks? Start tayo kay Cha.
So, di naman ako lagi nag-iisip ng creative things. Like, I don't create out of the blue. Pero when I do, kasi ginagawa ko recently, pag bored ako, I look at, so sali ako sa mga old groups sa Facebook, yung mga retro advertising, ganun. So, since, I look at the modern commercials na and ads and photos, pero we're going full circle. So, like, parang, at the same time, inaaral ko yung base of advertising para like ma-refresh ano ba talaga yung gagana for other people or what would engage. Tapos usually I just like binge random stuff, like movies or different commercials. Or yung parang sa RC ko lang, yung ads, yung mga Thai ads. Pag bored ako, lang ng mga ganun. Para lang mag-spark up. Kasi wala namang specific na hinahanap eh. I just look for random things na may gain interest or may enjoy ko lang.
One of the tips that I think I do, which is really helpful, is reading a book. I love reading talaga. So, sa mga bookworm dyan, perfect yan. Kasi even if it's just like a simple fictional book or kahit yung mga Harry Potter, that's okay then because you can get a new idea from there. Like, I remember I was just reading a book and then all of a sudden it inspired me to make a poem, like just start doodling flowers or something, because from there your mind is like it just wakes up and it starts expanding new ideas and then it just really wants to create something when you're not even really forcing it to create anything. Parang it just feels like expressing itself, which is nice in a way. And also just to add, you don't really have to feel obligated to create anything when you don't want to make anything, especially if you're someone who's very yung tipong creative stuff, yung artist talaga. You really don't have to feel obligated to make anything in every certain day. Parang you can take it slowly by just doing small steps to keep your mind sharp. Ganun.
For me naman, similar to Cha. So, I learned this from my previous internship in 7AD. Sinabi sa amin to like kahit create notes in your phone na parang creative baol. So, meron talaga ako, hanapin ko. Meron akong notes sa phone ko na naka-title talaga, My Creative Baol. So, every time parang I get like inspiration from everyday experiences lang. I write it down here and then once parang we need something na concept, you could do like concept mapping. They also taught us to do that before in 780. So, yun, I think it helps to keep like track of what you think of kahit the most random things, like ay naisip ko yan habang like sa banyo ka or something. So after that, sulat mo na lang tapos it might be handy. It's parang it kind of helps you be prepared na for that pag may creative block ka or something.
One thing that also helped me to avoid creative ruts is to actually do passion projects. Passion projects are projects na you actually love to do and you would do regardless of the parang requirements sa'yo. You just do passion projects out of your passion.
Yeah, I agree with Baron kasi I also do passion projects outside para lang hindi ako masyadong nagfo-focus sa acad life ko. Then syempre naman we go to school to learn, pero at the same time, you have to get out and like do what you want to do para at least kung ano yung matututunan mo outside, madadala mo rin inside, and it will make you improve it to a more experienced person. Ayun, that's good, Baron. That's good to hear. Okay, meron pang gusto mag-add, James?
Ako, meron ako. Actually, agree ako dun sa sinabi ni Baron na kailangan talagang alagaan yung mental health. Kaya ako kapag kunwari nawawalan ako na ideas, ginagawa ko lang talaga, natutulog lang ako or kaya lalabas ako, tingin ako sa ulap. Tapos kasi kapag wala kang iniisip kasi, bigla na lang talaga may papasok sa na mga ideas, tapos mapapaghalo-halo mo sa utak mo. So mag-create siya ng bagong creative ideas na magagamit mo. And also important yung meron kang sariling style kasi with that style magagamit mo talaga siya in creating parang sarili mong design, makakagawa ka ng output with that style. So yan, lagi ko lang nire-remind sa sarili ko na magaling ako, ganun, na kaya ko to, ganyan. Yan lagi ko nire-remind na magaling ako, na ayun, kaya ko to, best ako, ganyan. So yun, nagagawa ko lahat ng naiisip ko.
Sobrang importante. Kahit sobrang ikli nung sinabi ni James, sobrang importante nun. The most important thing for me, kahit na super dami mong ginagawa, if you don't have confidence in yourself, if you don't have self-reassurance, lalo na kung yung mga tao sa paligid mo, like they don't believe in your ideas, as long as you believe in your idea, thing na makakapagpatuloy pa sa'yo. Yun din yung sabi sa startup. The startup, like, yung magpapatuloy lang daw sa'yo. Kunwari, in starting a business, for example, is your confidence that you're doing what you love. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for answering those questions. Pero ngayon, kayo naman ang dapat magtanong because aside from the questions discussed or flashed a while ago, if you were given a chance to ask an advertising professional some questions, what would it be? So, one question each lang, guys. Medyo mahaba ang pila. Okay, let's start sa pinakabata, Miss Bea Lu.
I love that. Thank you for that intro. Siguro for my question for an advertising professional, it would be what made you decide to go into that certain department and what are the skills you will need to be in that.
Okay, next up, Miss Gilly.
What kind of attitude do you need or do you need to possess or to have to make it in the advertising industry?
Do you ever get to rest? Does your mind ever get to rest? Well, kasi medyo intense yung gawain sa advertising agencies in both ways. So, ayun. Tips on how to keep yourself going in a hard industry.
Yes. The pressure. Okay, next.
What are the other things that advertisers do that other people doesn't usually know?
Oh, that's nice. Wow. All right.
Intriguing.
So, how do you find motivation in creating marketing pops kapag hindi mo siya passion project, parang ganun? Yun lang yung main question ko so far.
Pera, charot.
Ganun kalaki po yung start ko.
Yes. Thank you so much for your questions, guys. And thank you so much for sticking with us ng ganito katagal for our advert chikahan. This is not an ad. Sooner.
All right, thank you for your questions to our 5 admirable guests. Actually, yung questions nyo, it will be asked for our next episode. Okay, so that's a wrap for our episode 1. Hope you all learned a lot from our amazing guest students from DLSU. Watch out for our next episode as we will be hearing from ad agency professionals.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with us today on our very first episode of This Is Not an Ad. To all our listeners, don't forget to rate, like, share, subscribe, review, and leave us a comment.
For more updates, you may check out the Ad Create Society on all social media platforms. Wear a mask, stay safe, be nice to people, and we'll see you again on our next episode. Bye!
guys.